तो वीडियो थोड़ा देखो।
See, if you are at the back and can't see, don't worry. I'll be doing multiple times. My job is to just identify the structure. Whatever is seen here, you read each detail for the preparation. Okay. So see, when you see the lower limb, then make one thing sure, which is medial side, which is lateral side. Okay. So the great toe is the medial side, little toe is lateral side. What is the most, see, when you prepare the lower limb, if it is spotting, there is no need to read gluteal region in detail, because all that you get here is this gluteus maximus. Okay, so read everything about it: origin, insertion, modes of the action, and its clinical importance, that is giving intramuscular injection. Then deep to that, other muscles are there, but what they tie, see, it is already tied here. Gluteus maximus is a very common spot, and what they ask, I'll show you. So what they ask is, it's mainly its insertion. Okay, so you all know 3/4 fibers of gluteus maximus gets inserted into iliotibial tract, and only 1/4 fibers to the gluteal tuberosity of femur. So that is a peculiarity where less fibers are attached to the bone. So that can be asked. Or the nerve supply. Always remember, infragluteal nerve supplies gluteus maximus, and sometimes they asked in the Viva voice, superior gluteal nerve supplies which structure? That is gluteus medius, gluteus minimus, and tensor fascia lata. Okay. Then action, you know all, abduction and lateral, so all that. That is not very commonly asked. What else is asked regarding this is, what is its clinical importance or applied importance? That is giving intramuscular injection. But recent books like Visramsky write gluteus medius as the intramuscular injection, but for spotting, though I am not sure for your multi-choice which you may get ahead in your course, but for the spotting purpose anatomy, intramuscular injection is given in gluteus maximus. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay, then you see it's the head of the femur, and you can find that a structure attached to the fovea. This is ligamentum teres femoris. This is ligamentum teres femoris, but not very commonly tied. And deep to the gluteus maximus, you get gluteus medius and gluteus minimus. But what they tie mostly, gluteus maximus. Then we come to the front of the thigh. See here, what I am holding with my entire hand is the muscle quadriceps femoris. You all know what are the components. They are rectus femoris, vastus medialis, lateralis, intermedius. So see this structure, the rectus femoris, it can be tied. So when you read a muscle, read 4 things: origin, insertion, nerve supply, action. If you can remember the blood supply, it's well and good. Okay. So this is rectus femoris, which can be tied. Then see, these are 3 vasti. Again, towards medial side, this is vastus medialis. Towards lateral side, vastus lateralis. In between the two, vastus intermedius. That is deep to rectus femoris. That is deep to rectus femoris. Now another thing that you get here, see this fascia-like structure on lateral iliotibial tract. What they ask about it? First, its attachment between ilium and tibia. That is why the naming. Okay. Then what are its functions? See over here, this gives attachment to 2 muscles. In front, tensor fascia lata, behind the gluteus maximus. Then apart from giving attachment to these muscles, it also stabilizes the knee during its movement. Okay. And then the next thing that you get over here, very common spotting, sartorius. Okay. Read everything about it, and remember, sartorius flexes the hip, Agilis flexes the knee. Okay. And so sartorius can be very commonly tied, and remember, it is strap muscle. Sometimes they ask what type of muscle is strap muscle. That just looks like a strap of a pants. Okay. Then what you see over here, let us first go to these muscles, the adductor muscles. So this is adductor longus, longer. This is adductor brevis, shorter, and this larger muscle adductor magnus. So you can identify these 3 things clearly, and this thing is your gracilis. Okay, this is the gracilis. Okay. Now over here you can mark the femoral triangle. So you all know medial boundary is formed by the medial margin of the medial border of the adductor longus, lateral by medial boundary of sartorius. Base is regional ligament, and what is in the floor? First adductor longus itself, then your pectineus, then iliopsoas. First measure iliacus together. Okay. Then see, these contents can be tied. So see over here, you can find, you all know that from medial to lateral side, it is vein, artery, nerve. Okay. So see over here what you can find. See, this is the what I am showing clearly. This thing is the vein, and this is the artery, and over here you can find a bunch of nerves. that is over here. Okay, this is the nerve. So see, the mnemonic is VAN, but sometimes it is difficult to find the exact location because of prolonged observation. So if you find two stumps here, palpate. Thin wall will be vein and thick wall will be artery. That is better. Also the popliteal fossa. It is usually confusing in the exam to find the popliteal artery and vein. Just palpate the artery and vein, thick wall artery, thin wall vein. Okay. So read everything about femoral nerve and this is your this over here. This thing is your artery and this is the vein. Okay. So then this is the great saphenous vein which is coming to drain into the femoral vein. Okay. Then this thing can be tied. When they can tie the great saphenous vein, they usually ask where it commences. It begins on the medial side of transverse arch of the foot and where it ends into the femoral vein. So I heard wrong. Okay. So what they can tie here, any of the muscles of quadratus femoris or this sartorius or the iliotibial tract or any of the major content. Vein, artery, nerve. Okay. And remember about femoral nerve, the root value and the branches. Remember like that from the trunk, from the anterior division to the posterior division. Because they ask like that. Names of branches from the trunk or from the anterior division or from the posterior division. So front of thigh, femoral triangle, finished. Then we go to the medial side which we have already studied. Adductor longus, adductor magnus, adductor brevis and magnus. See why the naming, longus is longer, brevis is shorter, magnus is larger. And here you also find the gracilis. They usually don't tie these things here, but one thing you can find here, see, this nerve over here is the obturator nerve. That is the vein, that is the nerve of the medial side of thigh, or adductor compartment of the thigh. Then what we get behind, see this is a very common time. The sciatic nerve, either they can tie the sciatic nerve or its two branches, okay, tibial nerve or common peroneal nerve. They can ask the root value of any of the three branches, or simply sometimes they tie the sciatic nerve and ask the side question what are the branches, that is tibial and common peroneal. And remember, often asked in theory question, common peroneal nerve damage leads to foot drop. This is like you remember radial nerve damage leads to wrist drop. Similarly, common peroneal nerve damage leads to foot drop. Okay, and read the root value of all these three nerves. That is asked. Then the hamstrings can be a full window question. So you know what are the hamstrings? Semitendinosus, semimembranosus, biceps femoris, and adductor magnus. Okay. So see over here, all the out of them, three are present on the medial side. Only biceps femoris is on lateral side. Okay. So this muscle laterally, this is biceps femoris long head. See, this one is biceps femoris long head. Okay. This one is biceps femoris short head. Okay. And on the medial side, this muscle is your semitendinosus because half of the muscle is tendon, and below that or beneath that, this is semimembranosus because half of the muscle is very thin like a membrane. Okay, and over here, this thing is your adductor magnus. So out of the four, only biceps is lateral, rest are medial. Okay, and remember one objective question: what are the two hamstrings? Semitendinosus and semimembranosus. Okay, then what you get over here? Popliteal fossa. So here you can define the boundary very clearly. Superolaterally biceps femoris, superomedially semitendinosus membranosus, and inferiorly you get the gastrocnemius. Medial head of gastrocnemius. So that will be towards this side, and this is cut here. Okay, and on lateral side, lateral gastrocnemius along with the plantaris. So let us see if plantaris is existing here. Well, it's not very clear. Yes, this thing. Plantaris is not dissected here properly, but you can sometimes see it. Okay, plantaris if here not tied, but what they tie here the content. You know the main contents are artery, vein, nerve. You get a lot of mnemonics, N, V, A, V, A, N, like that. Don't remember that for the practical. In the practical, in the popliteal fossa, deepest structure is artery. Superficial that you get the vein, and the superficial most structure are the two nerves. Okay, so the superficial, if you go from the deep, so see this thing is the popliteal artery, which is very commonly tied. They can tie the popliteal vein. See, even from a distance you can tell it is thin word. Okay, and then these are the two nerves over here. See, in the middle you get tibial nerve. What goes laterally will be the common peroneal nerve. Okay, what will go laterally from here. So see, this is the entire thing. See the bifurcation of sciatic nerve here. So the nerve that is in the middle is tibial nerve that goes back of the leg, and this nerve which goes towards lateral side is the common peroneal nerve. They can tie any of the three. Okay, and even here, if you are confused between the artery and vein, whether the popliteal artery or vein tight, then palpate. Thick wall will be artery, thin wall will be vein. One of the common questions that is asked is, what are the terminal branches of popliteal artery? That is anterior tibial artery and posterior tibial artery. Okay, see, the same two veins, anterior tibial vein and posterior tibial vein fused to form the popliteal vein. Okay, and sometimes they may ask like this, they may tie the tibial nerve and name two muscles that are supplied by the nerve. So you know all the muscles at the back of the leg get supplied tibial nerve, write any two muscles there. Okay, or they may tie the common peroneal nerve and ask its two branches, that is superficial peroneal nerve and deep peroneal nerve, like that. Okay. Even sometimes some of the teachers, they, after tying the common peroneal nerve, they ask name in two muscles supplied by it. So you can write two muscles in the lateral side which are supplied with superficial peroneal nerve, that is peroneus longus brevis, or any muscle in the front of the leg, that is supplied by deep peroneal nerve. Okay. Then we go to this, see, it is already tied, tendo Achilles. Tendo Achilles often tied. What they ask as a side question, that is, where is it inserted? Into the middle of the posterior surface of calcaneus. Okay. So in the posterior surface of calcaneus, three areas: upper third, middle third, lower third. The middle third is the attachment or insertion of tendo Achilles. But a more common question is, how it is formed? Remember, it is formed by the two heads. As you can see this, two heads of the gastrocnemius and the soleus. And soleus is the peripheral heart in the body. That is often asked objective. What is the peripheral heart of the body? That is soleus. Okay. Then this is a case where they have dissected everything in the back of the leg, and over here you can find, see, this is the soleus muscle attached here. It's over here. This is the soleus muscle attached here. You can find its upper part attached to soleal line. So if you get hold of the soleal line, below that the soleus, above that the muscle is popliteus. Okay, remember that. If you, once you get hold of the soleal line, below that and on the line is muscle soleus, above that line the muscle is popliteus. And see over here, you can find this is a tibial nerve, and you can find an artery here. Okay, that is the posterior tibial artery. You remember the nerve and artery of each compartment. In the back of the leg, the nerve is tibial nerve, and the artery is the posterior tibial artery. Sometimes they ask you terminal branches. What are they? Artery of the sole, medial plantar artery and lateral plantar artery. Medial plantar artery and lateral plantar artery. Okay. Then you know here there is a mnemonic to remember the structures beneath flexor retinaculum. Say this is the flexor retinaculum. This can be tied. And as you can see, it extends between the medial malleolus and the heel bone or calcaneus. See, very clear attachment. That is one question. Tell the attachment. Other question is name the structure underneath it. What is the mnemonic? The doctors are okay, happy. So first you see. So D is tibialis posterior. So immediately behind this is medial to lateral. So this is tibialis posterior. Okay. Tibialis posterior can be tied. Okay. And they ask its insertion. Okay. Its insertion is first major of the fiber gets inserted to tuberosity of the navicular bone. There from slips are sent to all the tarsals and metatarsals except talus and first metatarsal, occasionally fifth metatarsal. Okay. So tibialis posterior can be tied. Okay. Then the next muscle. This one is your flexor sternum longus. So sequence. If you know the sequence, you can tell. Then there the artery and nerve, you know. So this is the artery, posterior tibial artery, and this is tibial nerve. And the deeper tendon, this one is flexor hallucis longus. This one is flexor hallucis longus. Next thing, what you see anteriorly on the anterior compartment of the leg, first the mnemonic is the Himalayas and the dry places. So see, first, in front of medial malleolus, first tibialis anterior. So see, you can know tibialis posterior or anterior very clearly. Because if you trace the medial malleolus, just in front of it you get tibialis anterior, and just behind it you get tibialis posterior. When they tie the tibialis anterior, they again ask the insertion, that is into the first metatarsal, okay, and the adjacent part of the cuneiform bone sometimes, okay. Then see, next is the Himalayas, extensor hallucis longus. See, this is the extensor hallucis longus that is going towards great toe, okay. Then over here you can find the artery and the nerve. So see, this is the artery, that is, which artery? Anteritibial artery, okay. Then over here you can find the deep peroneal nerve, okay, and this is the extensor digitorum longus, and this is the peroneus torsius. See, you can find here another compartment having two muscles, peroneus longus superficial muscle, deep muscle is peroneus brevis. See, all the muscles which are at the lateral border of foot cause eversion. Okay, so what are the muscles here? See, peroneus longus, brevis and tortius, they cause eversion. Okay, and all the muscles which are at the medial border of foot cause inversion. What is the medial side? Tibialis anterior, tibialis posterior. This is asked as question. Names of muscles causing inversion, names of muscles causing eversion. Or they can ask at which joint inversion and eversion occurs. It is at subtalar and metatarsal joint. It is at subtalar and metatarsal joint. Okay, this much can be asked in theory. Then in the dorsum of foot, one thing is very commonly asked, the nerve supply. Okay, cutaneous nerve supply. See, almost all of the dorsum of the foot supplied by superficial peroneal nerve except the fast interdigital cleft that gets supplied deep peroneal nerve. This question is asked in multiple patterns. They twist it and ask it. Okay. So this is all that, see, all the structures what you have seen, which can, and any of them can be tied. Okay, what have you enlisted? So read everything about them. If you read everything about them, you simultaneously prepare for the fast professional. Okay. Then in the sole, they usually tie nothing except the plantar aponeurosis. And the usual side question is, it is a remnant of which muscle? Answer is, or prolongation of which muscle? Plantar apon. Answer is plantaris. Plantaris. Okay. This much, then nothing here. And the bone, mainly read the femur, tibia, hip bone. These are very important. Fibula is less important. And usually in the spotting, we don't put talus or calcaneus. Talus or calcaneus can be put as viva voice question in a fast professional or any internal in grand viva bone, but usually we don't put that in spotting. Okay, so see how easy it is to prepare for a PCT. And if you want to read more, you can read, because in the long run it will help. But this is the basic thing which you need. You know how to prepare for a bone. So what is the question there? Identify the bone, tell the side 1 mark. Then any aerial painted and ask what is attached here. That is another 1 mark. So read the major attachment on the bone and you are prepared for the PCT. So don't drop the PCT this time. Okay, like this much.